A group of more than 100 boys were a part of a group called the Boys Locker Room. This is an Instagram chat. And the topic of conversation on this chat was abuse, was casually discussing gang rape of fellow students. It's extremely disturbing because these are young children studying in some of the best schools in Delhi. And this is the kind of narrative that they're resorting to online. Many are asking questions on how these chats leaked. Well, one of the boys from the group who had been recently added to this group chat had actually seen all these chats and eventually decided to send it to a few girls. And it was these girls on receiving some of these screenshots and messages who decided to go public. I just want to bring our viewers up to speed with an update. One of the girls, who had in fact made this chat public did not want to speak to NDTV, but she did say that the abuse and the threat is not over, because what she's essentially telling us is that they've now gone ahead and formed a separate group and they continue to threaten the girls who have made these chats public. Well, firstly, I want to congratulate the brave girls who have come out and made these chats public. It is difficult conversations that they've made public. There are abuse, there are photographs that have been shared. So a lot of very explicit content in these groups. We won't dive into what that content is, but what I can tell you after seeing some of that content is that you won't believe that these are school children who have actually resorted to a narrative like this. To understand some of this, I have with me Avni Bansal. She is an advocate. Joining us on the broadcast is also Manisha, who is a counseling psychologist and deals with children. Manisha, if I can come to you first, it is unbelievable, completely shocking to see, some of these chats that I have unfortunately had to go through, in order to be able to make sense of it. How does one explain this?
Hi, actually, as you were saying, that it's absolutely unbelievable. It's also, unfortunately, that in our society, it's also very believable that something like this is happening, because the concept of rape culture is perpetuated in our society, in our culture, in our nation, in our cities, unfortunately also I'm saying this, in our families, where we usually end up saying that, this is something which is evident. It's something which is inevitable. Rape culture basically is saying that people believe that rape culture is an inevitable thing to happen, and we end up refuting that by saying boys will be boys. So as unbelievable as it might be for us to think that, these are 17, 18-year-old boys who've done something which is so disturbing, it's also quite believable, because this is something that has been perpetuated.
Manisha, I'm going to come back to you. I'm going to come back to you and I'm going to ask you some very straight questions on what can be done. What should parents do? What should teachers do? What should peers do? But before that, let's look at the legal aspect of this story as well. We've, of course, blurred the identity of members of this group, of even girls who've been brave enough to come out and call out these boys. We're given to understand that the Delhi Commission for Women now, Avni, have in fact, written to the Delhi police. The Delhi police so far hasn't registered a complaint because they've said that no parents or children so far have come forth. We're dealing with minors here. These are all school-going children, high school-going children. What's the kind of action that can be or should be taken?
See, first thing to note is all of these that are in question are minors. So there is a separate law that is applicable to them, which is the Juvenile Delinquency Act. Now, what is shocking is that, post-Nirbhaya, where the entire country came together, where also minors were involved, the question is that what have we learned from our past mistakes? And one of the questions to ask is that a common misconception about rape in our society, unfortunately, is that it is the poor, who do it. And now you see, if you look at the profile of most of these students who are in question, they come from very rich families. It is not difficult for them to hire, one of the best lawyers in the country and get themselves defended. The question for us as a society and largely for the government is, what are some of the systematic changes that we need to think about?
Avni, what we're putting out on our screens is a copy of what the Delhi Commission for Women has actually told the Delhi police. They've written to the Delhi police and to Instagram to take action. What is the kind of action that can be taken by the police and by Instagram in this particular story?
Right. See, of course, the police will have to do a preliminary inquiry, but the police very much has the powers to actually inquire into this matter and, if need be, take immediate appropriate action. What was a problem in a lot of what we saw in the Me Too movement was the critiques of it said that, where is the evidence? It's one person's word against another person's word. At least what you see in this particular case is some very strong evidence out there. And that should be a reason why, we should be able to see prompt police action. If we don't see it, that's a very important question we need to be asking as a society.
Absolutely. I think, Avni, you raise a very important point. Yes, you raise a very important point because, like I said, these are all minors. And we've protected the identity of the girls who've called these boys out, as well as protected the identity of these boys. But their names are out there in this WhatsApp group. Their names are out there. The details are all out there because they're all Instagram users. The other question, Avni, before I go back to Manisha, is what kind of action can Instagram do? What is the kind of action that Instagram can take in order to prevent, such a situation from happening? Can they cancel these accounts? What can they do?
So see, first of all, first thing we need to know is that this debate is not new, right? I mean, when Facebook owner was questioned in the US government, by the US government, it was very clear that there are some serious issues of privacy, but also concerns of safety, and these two need to be balanced with each other. Now, something like this, which is a clear violation of law, which is shocking to everybody, I don't think anybody is going to defend this action. Even then, if a platform as big as Instagram, and we need to know that Instagram is the next big thing for the new generation. Absolutely. It's not Facebook any longer. It is Instagram. So unless Instagram puts in some systematic policies and bans these accounts, it will be very difficult for people to believe that,
suspend accounts and perhaps have stricter, measures in place. There is, of course, a whole host of introspection that ought to be done. Manisha, I've read many children on Twitter and Instagram who've come out and said that our parents have read this because it's been widely circulated in parent groups across Delhi schools. Parents are now asking their kids to go off Instagram. Is that a solution? Take your kid off the Instagram platform to protect him or her from a situation like this. What's the solution?
Honestly, this is almost like saying that people should not be allowed, or women rather, should not be allowed of the house after a certain time because they're not safe. The onus ultimately falls on the victims to protect themselves, instead of us changing our mentality that boys need to stop doing this, men need to stop doing this. As human beings, we need to stop perpetuating rape culture. And so over here, when we talk about the vulnerability factor, minorities, women over here, not just face the vulnerability of A, violence, but B, they also face the vulnerability of being blamed. Of, like you talked about, you congratulated the girls who spoke up about everything despite the continuous abuse and threat, which is not over. They are also vulnerable for perpetuating abuse that's happening after this. So the solution of going off Instagram really is not one. They can just be called and talked about this thing. These systems need to start from the family system itself. The conversation needs to happen in the families, along with the schools, along with the classroom. These aren't the conversations that need to be tabooed and shut down about now.
All right. So conversations need to be had with young, impressionable minds in order to prevent situations like this from happening. Now, the Delhi Commission for Women, like I said, has written to both Instagram and the Delhi police, but the Delhi police has not taken any action so far because no complaint has been registered. So when will action be taken? The names and identities of all those boys, minors, are out there, and we will wait to see what the Delhi police does. Big thank you to Avni and Manisha for joining us.